Hey guys, this is like my third time going to record this. The dark forces really don't want me to make this video, I guess. Oh, my shirt says choose happy. Okay, and I'm speaking light language. And it's a form of energy work. It's actually your encrypted way to talk to God where nobody knows what you're saying. So people use it for evil or for good, just like everything in this world. So mine is love, pure unconditional love, and it is used to talk to God about whatever it is, or to put out a blessing to help anybody that whatever my intention is. I'm usually either talking to God or I'm trying to help somebody. But either way, when I speak the light language, it is always coming from a space of love. And I actually talked to somebody once that was really cool. She's talked to a lot of people who speak light language, and she said all of them were bad. Like all of them had ill intentions or were doing it to for the dark forces. And she says I was the first person she met who was genuinely using it the right way, like for love. So that was pretty cool confirmation. I was like, thank you. So um basically I just kind of want to go through my history real quick for those of you who are new to me, why I'm even doing this, how I even got in this position, what is this position, all of this. Um, okay, so let me go to where it all began, really. I was reading Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, and I became enlightened without knowing what enlightenment really was or anything. And I was actually enlightened for 6 months. I know a lot of you think you know what enlightenment is and that you enlighten permanently. That's all just information that you've heard, okay? There's not like a cookie cutter black and white way that everything is. This is enlightenment. This is Christianity. This is this and that is that. And stop trying to put things in boxes, guys, and don't try to correct people on what they're saying, because what comes from somebody's heart, what pours out, is spirit conveying in its own unique, beautiful, perfect way in its own. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there because whatever I'm going to say, I always get these comments like that. Like, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, take what I have to say however you want to take it. It's my own unique expression. Okay, so you can pick it apart if you want to, but I advise that you soften your heart and you just listen with an open mind and an open heart, and try not to get defensive. Just try to take it in and not overanalyze anything. In fact, I would ask you to get very, very present and quiet with your mind, because guess who's running around in your mind? And that's the devil, Satan, whatever thing you want to put on negativity, which is fear. Okay. It's just you being guarded against letting love in. So I have loving intentions. And I am here to help you open your heart and open your mind and help navigate this crazy thing we're going through in this great awakening. Okay. So I became enlightened a real long time ago, and it was for 6 months, and it truly was not at all like it was in the world but not of it, of the world but not in it. I don't know, I was in the world but not of it. um God inhabited my body. There was no Amy anymore. It's nothing like I've ever heard anybody else even um like you guys, like the normal person listening to this right now is so not going to get it. But if you've had the little glimpses, the Satori's, then you've at least gotten a little of an idea of what it is. But to live it for 6 months is a very unique experience. And I'm still in it. I mean, I still have the consciousness in me. I'm still to a degree enlightened. But I still also have my ego intact, and I will readily admit that. I'm a regular person with an ego. Okay. So it's just that I've also reached that. I've experienced God inhabiting my body, which is the kingdom of God within you. It's not a group of people in churches, okay? The kingdom of God is within you. It's consciousness, it's presence. That's where God resides in us. But when we live the will of God, okay, God takes us over completely in the present moment, and we are not existing anymore. And I've experienced it firsthand. This is not about having read a book. In fact, his book doesn't even talk about this. This is from raw experience, okay? Raw, real experience. So, and just like I've heard it says in the Bible, I don't know where it is. It's like the idea is that God doesn't choose the equipped, he equips the chosen. Okay. There was something pure in me, there was something good in me that he wanted to take advantage of that, or maybe he made that me that way in the first place, obviously. So, but he's utilizing me in these times to lead the way, to be like a guiding light. Okay. I don't proclaim to have all the answers. I don't say I'm some kind of stupid guru or something. You guys, what is a guru anyway? It's like just somebody who's inspiring people. There's nothing wrong with that. Who cares what label you smack on it? I'm not proclaiming to be anything but what God's told me to convey to you guys through this time, okay? And that's because I've grown to learn to listen to him and talk to him on a regular basis. And him means consciousness in the present moment, okay? God's not separate from us, he's within us. It's just to what degree is he within us is the varying factor. So also when they say live the will of God, that's like allow, like I said, like the ego takes a back seat, it's out of there, and you just completely fill yourself up with God. It's not like being a person. It's not like being a person, you guys would know if you've been there. You don't even care about your personality or your person anymore. You don't care about whoever you think you are or your title or what you're doing, any of it. It's all gone. You're just empty space being filled with love. And everything that comes out of your mouth is God's words to everyone. It's what it's how Yeshua is able to make the impact that he was able to make back then, which we're here to make today if we have an open mind and an open heart and quit being religious. Okay? And quit being like so many misunderstandings with religion. It's unbelievable, but that's all going to come to light very soon. But somebody who's actually experienced God can speak from that place. Okay. And it's not from books. And like I said, it's not from all the dogma and whatever else that we were wrongfully taught. This is pure and raw from God. Okay. So through time, he, helped me to develop my intuition from that experience. I mean, even before that, I guess I was intuitive. I, come from a background of Christianity my whole life. I was a Bible talk leader for a while. Then I started to cultivate. I lived in a haunted house that was full of paranormal activity. So I was really, really curious. So I really, really wanted to cultivate my abilities. So I did. And then I started to get my feet wet on a podcast, like talking on a podcast, talking on YouTube. I mean, I've dabbled in so many different things trying to kind of get my feet wet and learn about things like lighting and videos and editing videos and things like that. I was in the corporate world before all of this. And I was in marketing. I've done just about everything. I'm a jack of all trades. I can do about everything. If you put me in a business and say, okay, Amy, go at it, I'd go, I'd buzz around doing all of it, a little bit of all of it, or I could help with a little bit of all of it, So I've always been that way. My grandpa said he loved that about me, that I was just like, I could fit into any situation and help somehow. Jack of all trades. He would call me the jack of all trades. So yeah. Then I kind of, started to put just start, just like you guys, building confidence more all the time. And then I started building more testimonials, which boost your own faith as well as people who are like, well, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. So you start building a reputation, you start building. And it's been many, many years that I've been doing this, that I've been working on this. Kent Washington, I would say, was when I really started to get serious about cultivating my abilities and whatnot. And then I've lived just about everywhere. I've been to Montana and Oregon and Seattle, Marysville specifically. So yeah, I've in Coos Bay, Oregon, Bozeman, Montana, Livingston, Montana, Emigrant, Montana. Um, and where was I in the other? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So I've been all around, somewhat of a gypsy. I've lived in like a million places. And all I really want to do is settle down. And God knows that. He's going to make that happen for me someday. But so far now, I've probably lived in about 24, 25 places in the last 20 years, and it drives me nuts. I hate it, but that's okay. I've gotten used to it. I'm good at it. You know, so basically, yeah, I just when I find the big leap of faith was to work for the Lighthouse Bookstore in Boulder, Colorado, because it was really, this place is known for their psychics. People come from all over the world to go experience what it is to get like a psychic reading in Boulder, Colorado. So, and this was the hub, the very bookstore that was like the most famous for it. And I worked in their store retail to just get the opportunity to be like a fill-in for the other psychics that were doing readings and stuff. And up until that time, I had mostly just been doing healing. I was a practitioner at a juice bar. They actually had these little practitioner spot, like a little spa on the side. And I was one of the practitioners just doing healing work. But you're an intuitive while you're doing that too. So, I had a lot of experience with intuition and healing, but mostly the healing part. I hadn't done a lot of like sit down publicly and do these readings, and people could overhear you. It was very intimidating. So, but I was just a willing conduit. That was it. I had a pure heart and I was willing. And I wanted to make a living at something that I enjoyed doing. And I wanted to be remote. I wanted to be able to move around and go wherever I wanted to, thank God, because I've had to move so many times. It's like I needed to be in a position of being able to move around, and God wanted me there. He wanted me to be able to, place me wherever I was needed at the time in any particular time. So, um, I didn't sit there in a booth and say, I am the all-knowing one, come to me for all the answers. I've never acted like that. Some people think that just the fact that you're on YouTube or something, you're some all-knowing one, which is really silly. But I was really intimidated, like you can imagine. And I was just like, people are going to be like lining up to come ask me questions and stuff. Oh my gosh. And then, God said, just tell them what you're seeing and what you're feeling, and I'll give you the rest. We'll help you get better and better at interpreting and feeling it all out and everything. So I was like, okay, like many of you, it's like, okay, I'll do it. You got to keep putting yourself out there, no matter how nervous you are about something. So I started doing it, and when something's meant to be, when it just rolls out really easy and it starts really working. And people are amazed at what you're doing, and just like, tears are rolling, and you're shocked by what you're doing, you know? That type of stuff started happening. All these miracles started happening. And then the owners of the manager and the owner of the store said, wow, you have something really special. There's something about you that really stands out to us out of all the years that we've been in business. Like, you're really something. We want you to be one of our readers. And then once I was one of their readers, they were like, we want you to have like the prime spot. We want you to be the featured psychic, the one who gets like, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was a big deal. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday were the real busy days. So when there became a spot open for like the prime spot, I got it. It was awesome. So And thank you for believing in me, you guys, if you're watching this right now. So thank you so much. So I just became more and more confident in what I'm doing. Not egotistical. There's a difference. Okay. Confident means you trust what you're doing. It means that you know what you're doing. And if somebody tries to trick you or dupe you and tell you, they got a bad reading or you said something wrong or blah blah blah, then you know to call them on it. You can be like, no, you were given that for a reason. You were shown that for a reason. You know, and you start to feel like what comes from God. That they're lying, that they're just trying to get a free reading or whatever. That's what confidence is. It's like you start to stand on your own 2 feet with integrity, and you just you're not going to get duped or tricked like that. And which yeah, people, I mean, all kinds of tricks people would pull. So, yeah, it was, and so in that, I would have people lined up sometimes for hours and hours or have the whole day booked, like the minute they opened, which was really awesome. Um, and one of those particular days where I was really slammed, every single reading was asking about their true love. Everyone was asking about their true love. So I was like, well, and I had been asking God to tell me like what's my niche or what's my kind of my purpose in being here doing all this. And yeah, he was like, and I have a lot of spiritual knowledge too. So I was already like, I wasn't calling myself a psychic and still do not, although I am psychic. It's intuitive spiritual teacher. So, because that's the truest. We all are intuitive spiritual teachers when we decide to use our intuition, which is given to us by God. Okay. Same as listening to the Holy Spirit. When you're coming from a godly place, which I am. So, yeah, so I basically was this intuitive spiritual teacher, and I was doing a lot of love readings. So I became all about true love. And I changed my YouTube channel from spiritual teaching over to true love. And then I became all about true love. And then when I started to see all this crazy stuff going on in the world, the jab back when, that definitely caught my attention as something crazy off the charts. And I knew something was very, very wrong when that happened. And I started waking up to a lot of the what 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 the nefarious people of the world, what the evil people of the world started to make up the term conspiracy theorists to try to hide to try to hide the truth. If they could make fun of us, then they could keep people stupid for a lot longer, and that's worked for a long time. But I wanted to know the truth, so I didn't care whether anybody called me any kind of name. I just wanted to know what the hell was going on, behind the curtain, what's really going on. So, and then, when you do your research, a fact is a fact. It's just like that simple. Like, I don't listen to gossip. I actually go talk to the person straight to the source and say what the heck really happened. That's when you get the truth. Not when you're listening to what a bunch of people are saying or believing as a mass. That's when you're gonna all the sheep go off the cliff. So I was willing to see the truth. And then I was very concerned for you guys who were watching me. I really wanted to protect you guys. So I became like Mama Bear. And so then I was about truth, love, and true love. So that's what I am now. And in that process, also, I've been becoming sovereign. I've been becoming free from the matrix, free from the slavery, free from all of the fake government, the fake, courts, the fake, all of that is fake, in case you guys don't know that. It's all fake. It's totally fake. It's a for-profit corporation on Dun& Bradstreet. So, yeah, they're just a money-making machine. Police, they're fake too. They're working for the nefarians, trying to make them money doing all that they're doing. There are good police that probably don't realize what's going on. I don't know. A lot of this operates like at the very top. You're not going to, the people who do the paperwork or are running around being the minions, they don't know all of this. But some of them do. Some of them do. And within that also is a whole satanic network and Luciferian network, basically the bad guys that have been trying to take down humanity for a long time, but they've lost. They've lost like quite a while ago. And we're on a timeline where beautiful, incredible things are rolling out, mostly behind the scenes right now, but that's all about to change. It's all about to start coming out. So, which brings us to present day. Hope that wasn't too long. So yeah, I don't proclaim to have all the answers. I do share with you what God tells me about myself, what he feels you need to know, which is that I'm a prophet and that I'm a chosen one, whatever that means. It's anointed, an anointed one to spread his message, one to speak his words, which makes a lot of sense to me because when I was enlightened, he had inhabited my body and I was speaking his words through that space of enlightenment, living his will. Okay. So it just makes sense. But I didn't want that to be. I didn't wish and hope that I could be a prophet someday. I didn't wish, and I'm not a prophet that like foresees events. So, I mean, I do for a lot of you in private readings. I tell you guys a lot of things that are very accurate that do come to fruition. But as of right now, I have not been called to be one of those people who say, this is going to happen and that's going to happen in the future. That's not me. That's not what I do. There's different kinds of prophets. Prophets are just God's mouthpiece. Okay. So, and I don't even care about those titles either. I just convey what I convey. When God tells me to say something to you guys, I just do. I'm obedient to God. That's it. Okay. So take it or leave it. You know, the Satanists hate it. I'll tell you that because they've been coming after me. You guys know as of those last, few videos. Um, so, and they have a lot of tactics. Um, but and some of you are actually have a very similar path to me. A lot of trauma. I've had a lot of trauma in my life. Lots and lots. Coming to realize, it's like you come to a point where you're kind of waking up to who you are, like God's been showing me lately. And you're like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense why this and why that and why this. And oh my gosh, all along there have been the bad guys, we'll just keep it like that. The bad guys have been which is an aspect of our shadow side. They didn't want me to say that. So it's an aspect of our shadow side. So the more healing we can do on ourselves, the better. Um, so going back, looking at my life, I just go, oh my gosh, that person was planted, that was planted, that was planted. And then being shown that all negative things, all of it is demonic. So if you're ever thinking a negative thought, doubting yourself, addicted to something, anything that's negative in your life, it's all demons, and most of it is black magic by these Satanists and celebrities and things that are constantly putting spells in your monster drinks, in your food. They're putting poison in your food. They're trying to taint your DNA. They're trying to do all this stuff. They're still trying. I think it's really funny that they're still trying. It's like, wow. They're like the Energizer Bunny sometimes. They just keep going and going, and they bang their head against the wall doing the same damn thing they never get just different results, except in my case, I guess. They're like, what? Why isn't this working? So hello, there is a God. Are you guys getting it yet? Hopefully you are now. So he really is real. This whole spiritual thing, it really is real. It's not just pie in the sky, goofy people dreaming up some kind of God. He's very real, and if you guys don't know it yet, then you will very soon. So, what else? What else? So I feel like one one of the coolest experiences I had when I was in that enlightened state, when I was just purely walking, talking the will of God, I would drive and there was still a little Amy, there was still a little tiny me. And it was like I was sitting on my shoulder and I was just kind of observing everything, kind of in awe of it all, going, wow, this is really cool. Like I don't even have to do anything. Like I was thinking, I'm not even kidding you guys. I know some of you know what I'm talking about, but most people don't. But hopefully soon you will. Since we're going into the 5D, more and more people are going to be enlightening, which enlightening is just really just getting back to who we are. You know, Yeshua was able to do it. You know, he didn't do anything special. He just remembered who he was, you know. He just went back to the present moment where God resides. That's it, you know. So I was driving and I just was like, who's driving? Because I'm not driving. I have no idea whether I'm turning left or turning right, and I have no idea where I'm even going. Like I'm just going. And I was so present. I was so present that I just remember thinking that like I'm not even putting my foot on the brake. Hang on just a second. Okay, so basically I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing any of it. Even when I would pick up the phone, I could hear myself talking to somebody, kind of like, oh my gosh, it's like a deja vu that I had once. I had deja vu for a half an hour once, and I was in my body, but I wasn't able to say, I wasn't able to change anything I was saying or doing. I was just there for the ride. I could see everything through my own eyes, but I was doing everything, you know, something else was operating me. It was the same when I was enlightened. I'm still enlightened. Still enlightened. It's just, and I am still walking and talking the will of God. It's just not as, I don't know how to explain it. My ego's there too. My ego's there too. My personality is there. So anyway, um, so I basically was just like in awe of what would come out of my mouth and what I would say and what I would do. And it would move people to tears and it would be the exact perfect thing they needed to hear. And I was just like, this must be like how Yeshua lived or Gandhi or like something like that. I would just remember thinking that little part of me that was observing it all was just like amazed. So that's what the Bible is talking about when it says like be in this world but not of it. And it's not talking about being a prude. It's not talking, you know, and sin. Yeah, I mean I go on about this whole Christian thing because some people are still so hooked into that whole they're just so brainwashed. They don't understand that they've got the answer right there within them. Okay. God is when you're quiet. God is when you're quiet and you can feel the chi bumping through your body. That's God. Walking with God means walking around present. Okay. So, and I know a lot of you who are watching me know this because I did all those studies on Christianity and stuff like that. But yeah, so much is not what we thought it was. So keeping an open mind and an open heart in these times is really crucial, really, really critical, really important. You got something to say? Well, so, so in these times that are coming up, I was going to read into the drones for you guys too. What? Okay, hang on a sec. Somebody's got something to say here. Okay, well, all right. Um, and I might still read into the drones real quick, but well, okay. Well, seems that we're going that direction. Sorry. I got interrupted. Now I lost my train of thought, so I may as well go to the drones. All right, so we're just gonna ask. Um, I don't want to use my logic. I just want to feel into it and see. Because, well, my logic says, let's, all right, I'll share my logic. My logic says it's probably a combination because they're really, I know that the galactics are really trying to make themselves known right now. So it's all like being allowed, if you will. I know all of it's being overseen by the Alliance. which is the white hats, which are the good guys. Okay. They're overseeing all, they're in total control, just like God is in total control of the alliance, and it goes down from there. We've won, guys. Love has won, period, end of story. Anything the bad guys are doing, they're just doing at the last minute, scurrying around like rats, trying to figure out what damage they could do before they're out of here. They're all either going to jail or they're going to die or whatever's going to happen to them. They've got their fate they have to face. They have their consequences they have to face for all the evil that they've done. So whatever. And we're not even going to pay attention to them right now. And that's exactly where you need to be. Just ignore whatever kind of song and dance and whatever circus they're playing over there. They got their trumpets and their drums and their out there trying to do whatever they just ignore them. Just completely ignore them, guys. Don't let them have any power. Don't let them have any loosh, which means negative energy. You just stay heart-centered and just stay holding hands with God. Walk with God. Be present. Be present in every moment possible, but especially if there's a song and a dance and everything going around you. I don't care how scary it starts to look, you guys. The key, and I promise you, from my experience, from 6 months living an enlightened life, you are completely protected when you have presence. When you have, the more presence you have, which means dropping the future, dropping the past, dropping everything and just being right here, right now. The more you can anchor into that, the more protected you're going to be, period. And God knows all. God knows your enemy's plans. That's how I've made it through this. God's had my back this entire time. He knows the timing of everything. He knows where to have you turn your head and look at any particular moment. He gives you the idea to go do this right there at that moment, which ends up leading to this happening and that happening and that happening. All God. It's incredible. His timing is absolutely incredible, and he knows all. So the more present you can be, you're showing your total faith in God, that he's got your back. You're showing him that you trust him because you're just in meditation mode in a way. So, and that's like you completely surrendered. It's like, God, you got this, period. It still wants to talk. Hang on. Okay. So, basically, back to the drones. So I was going to say that the consciousness, they're trying to raise our consciousness. We're going to the 5D. We've got all this going on. We have disclosure, UFO disclosure. We got to learn that the aliens are real too. We're eventually going to learn that unicorns and fairies and all that stuff also exist too. All the things we thought were imaginary are real. Most things. Anything you've ever imagined or even can conceive of, like, just be like, what in the world? Like Bashar even says, like, anything you can possibly think of already exists somewhere. It may not be in this world right now, but it's there. It's in existence. It exists for you to even think of it. All right. So, basically, yeah, so it just makes sense. And it also makes sense. Those people who are saying that they're scanning or looking for something, and it also looks like some Nefarians could be looking to dump something or could look into. But I just have such a feeling that it's all under God's control. He knows everything, and he's allowing certain things to happen for the awakening of humanity, is what I feel is really the big picture. Okay, I don't feel like anything nefarious is going to be gotten away with. I really feel that strongly. There is nothing the bad guys can get away with at this point in time. There just isn't. It's impossible. And I've heard that there is they can look into the future, and they've looked into the future so many different ways. And I know they're timeline jumping, and there's so many different, they're astral projecting. They're doing all these things they've been trying so hard to try to thwart everything that's going to, end everything for them and get us celebrating. So, but it's not going to work. And in the end, when they've looked at every possible scenario, there was not one where they succeeded ever. It's never happened. It never will happen because God is God and God is a God of love. Catch a clue. Now, evil was able to reign for a long time, but now is the time of the awakening. Okay. So now we're going to be cooperating with our galactic family. We have to admit that they exist. We have to, there's just certain, we just got to start seeing the truth now. That's all. We just have to start seeing the truth. So I think God is allowing all of it to just get conversation going, get people opened up talking about it, get, all of this activity going. And so that there's just, so it's just opening the door. It's opening the door to some, to either also is the other thing is it's accentuating either fear, just like the shot thing did. It's accentuating the fear or it's accentuating the love in each person too. And it's continuing to split the camp, split the camp, split the camp. There's the love camp, and then we're all interdispersed, but it's almost like you could see it like God has a string tied to every one of us that are a love vibration. And he's going to be holding all of those strings or even lifting us up out of it. If all these disasters start happening, we're protected, completely protected, as long as we're present in the moment, right? Don't give in to your fear. So yeah, so let me feel into what's going on with the drones and all the orbs and all that stuff. And I was watching Monkey Works yesterday. He's interesting. He was saying he thinks they're all airplanes, and he makes a good point of saying, well, if they're drones, then they're drones that want to be seen because they've obviously placed lights on them to make them look like UFOs or whatever. So, shishina kurasa sena da elo. He suggests all for awakening. I was like, are there any real UFOs? Absolutely, yes, there are. Are there man-made UFO or man-made drones UFOs? Yes. Are there ones that are looking around for any kind of like nuclear activity or things like that? Yes. What else has there been? Are there any that are trying to spray thing or wants to cause damage? They're looking to cause damage in places. Not so much, actually. Because somebody said something about like some bodies of water where there were drones hovering over bodies of water, and they were afraid that they were going to be putting stuff in the water. I get a no on that. See, it's all being monitored by the good. Everything that's happening right now is ultimately, it's ultimately all things work together for good. Romans 8:18, right? So, so I guess the biggest message is to be in the back seat. You don't want to control things right now. You don't want to be like, well, if I do this, I'll survive, or if I do that, I'll survive, or if I have the perfect, because a lot of people are like, just you're not in the probably not in the perfect position right now. You're not out, off the grid completely like you want to be yet. Maybe you're waiting on the wealth transfer or whatever it is. You're probably not, living your dream life yet with everything exactly like you wanted, or have as many guns as you want to have, or have all your community together like you want, or whatever. You still could be totally alone and totally broke and totally not an ideal situation. But I'm here to say that God is saying to surrender. Just let him have it and just stay anchored into your faith and your trust and stay very present. Now there might be looting and all that kind of stuff because the banks may crash and all of a sudden nothing's worth anything. And there's the Simpsons had predicted the internet goes down and everybody freaks out and all the stores say we only take cash and that kind of thing, which is a good thing because all these kids go out and play and people have more fun and they're socializing more with their neighbors and like some good stuff happens from that always. That everything works together for good things. So I wish you guys could see these guys. Anyway, yes, and play, have some fun and play, vocalize. There's been a lot of vocalization today. And also pay attention to scrying. Like, if a cat meows around you or if a dog barks, it's confirmation of what you're saying or what you're thinking in that moment. So be paying attention to your spidey senses. And God is your navigation system. He's going to guide you through this step by step every moment. If you quiet your mind and stay present and stay with him, he will take you through every little part you need to go through. You need to turn left, turn right, go here, go there. Your job is to just relax, and do not panic over any of this. Get as ready as you can, fill up your gas, get as much food as you can for a couple weeks or whatever. All right, so I feel led to pull the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck by Taylor Eaton. It's really beautiful. She was doing readings the other day and she said, I have these oracle cards. And I was like, ooh, they're really pretty, so I bought them for myself for Christmas. And we're coming into a time of wealth, all of us. Well, abundance anyway. So there we go. So, God, what is your message for us today about what's coming or what's going on? Okay, this is pretty. The only thing is you can't really see it very well. Like you can't see you can't just look at it and read it. It's hard to see. You have to have like perfect eyes. Okay, so this is the Light Weaver. The Light Weaver? Yeah, the Light Weaver. The element. Here we go. Light Weaver. The Light Weaver has a unique gift. Okay, wait, it's about wealth multiplied, symbiotic growth. Cool. All right, the Light Weaver has a unique gift. Whenever anyone else is around her, their wealth increases. Awesome. And best of all, this gift costs her nothing. Her presence is her gift. Her presence is her gift. The energy she radiates activates abundance in the people around her and those who are listening to her. She finds joy in spreading her abundance energy to others. Yes, helping them magnetize exponential abundance. So if you have a platform or wherever you are, the people that you're around, you're spreading abundance everywhere. And in return, she is rewarded with an increase in her own wealth. It's all just exponential, right? She knows that her path to abundance is one of assistance. By helping others to become more prosperous, prosperity finds its way to her. Sometimes from the people she helps directly, sometimes from others that are impacted indirectly by her gift. The Light Weaver asks you to look at what comes easily to you and offer it to others. Focus less on how you'll become more prosperous and instead ask how you can help others become more prosperous. Awesome. Okay. So, they're saying to not be concerned about the future and feel like you need to kind of hoard it to yourself, whatever's to come. I know we've been in scarcity and lack for a long time, but when we give to other people freely and don't even think about it, like, oh, you need a shirt? Here, take it off my back. If you need this, here you go. People don't think of each other enough in these days. Well, hi. So, don't forget others. Put them first even, and then you'll see it all come back to you. All right. And you can do so in a lot of different ways. I already hear you guys thinking of what you could leave in the comments of ways that you've given to people. And I think that's beautiful. And it could be, it doesn't have to cost anything even. It can just be, I try to give everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, everything I do, I try to give to somebody some way, either a big smile or have a beautiful day or just, you look beautiful today. I love what you're wearing. Your hair looks beautiful. Like I'll say that to people and they look shocked. Like, I can't believe you said that. I'll offer to carry things for them. I'll offer to open doors. Whatever I can do to be helpful. anything encouraging, anything like the other day, there was a lady in a wheelchair, like an automated wheelchair, electric chair, an electric wheelchair. And she was, so she had this electric wheelchair. And she was reaching for something. And everybody else was like, they were all busy around her, buzzing, and everybody was going about their Christmas, busyness. And everybody was just ignoring her. And so I walked over to her and I said, what is it that you need? Like, what can I grab for you? And I said, you can tell me, anything you see here. Like, I'll go get it for you and bring it to your cart. And she was like, wow. And so she said, I just want that bottle of something. And I was like, okay, let me get that. I said, are you sure that you just want one? Do you want more than one? And she goes, no, just one. And I was like, all right, well, is there anything else you see that I can grab for you? And she was like, no, that was all, that's all I needed. So I was like, okay, great. And I just went about my business. Those types of little things. Or if somebody looks like they can't read a tag, of a price of something. I mean, that may seem like a little deal, but it's like it means so much to that person. Like, what? You're gonna look there beside them and be like, that says 323, you know? And they're, oh, thank you. They remember that. And then it goes home and then they spread that to their kids. They're in a better mood, to their kids, to their cats, to their dogs, to their husbands, whatever. And then that person goes into work the next day and they're all chipper and whatever. It's just, it spreads. So let's be the spreaders. Let's be the spreaders of light. Even when these crazy times may happen, maybe we can be the ones, fear no evil. Fear no evil. Just ignore. It's time to ignore all the evil. It's time to ignore all the nonsense. It's time to ignore all the distractions. They've lost. They don't matter anymore. They're nothing. Okay? Just go forward into the future and just let the shitstorm happen all around you. I don't care what kind of tornadoes or hurricanes or anything that's happening around you. Just stay focused on helping others and bringing that cheer and bringing that joy to those around you, those that are trustworthy anyway. Those aren't gonna try to kill you or something, but so just go spread your joy and give, and you'll be given back to. All right. Okay. So if there's something, well, I just opened it to, you did the right thing breaking the rules. You'll have to do this until the system dismantles. So if anybody felt like you did the right thing breaking some kind of rule, then don't feel guilty about it. There are a lot of things that are going on, like I'm not going to give specifics, but you'll get letters, threatening letters. Like if you don't, you signed up for this contract to do such and such a thing, you need to, they love to make you come in for the jabs, if you've been into their clinic for something, or if you touch on anything nowadays, you get their cooties, you get their rules and regulations, and then they're coming down with the thing, and and it's federal law, whatever, which we know federal law is totally fictitious as well. It has nothing to stand on anymore. We're going into common law, and none of that nonsense even matters. They literally, ever since the Chevron doctrine, they got nothing. There is no authority figure that can tell you what to do anymore. There just isn't. The sheriffs, now the sheriffs are real, and the sheriffs are in charge. The sheriffs and their deputies, but they're not policy reinforcers for the bad guys, okay? The fake, it's not fake. It's like it's the real law, the common law, the 3 laws that I've talked to you about before. Don't steal, don't scam, and don't kill. That's it. Pretty simple. If you don't do those 3 things, then just live your life how you want to, however that is. You're free. You're free. That's how it should be, right? So don't be afraid of breaking rules, breaking policies, breaking, doing anything that you felt like not reporting to the IRS. Oh, not paying off your credit card. No, if you're going to do some of this, you should do that with wisdom, though. Truly know that it is the right thing for you, that it truly is the good thing to do, the right thing to do in that situation. So, and also have somebody who's knowledgeable in common law kind of coaching you through it and telling you the exact words to use, the letters to write, the administrative ways to handle things. But stop fearing what they're telling you to do, what they're bossing you around with. If they come and tell you, you must come to this thing or whatever, you don't must nothing. There's nothing you must do that anybody else is telling you to do. That's what we're breaking away from. Is people wagging their finger telling us that we must anything. Your job is to listen to God alone and to do the right thing, period. That's it. It doesn't matter any rules, regulations, policies, what else do they call them? Whatever they want to call them to try to boss people around or enforce things. None of it matters, from big to small. None of it matters anymore. And I know it's hard to get our heads around that, but it's just a fact. It is a fact. You guys can break all the laws, all the laws, all the rules, all the regulations you want to. Do it peaceably, do it in love, but do it confidently. Do it confidently. Know your rights. Read the book UCC Connection on Amazon. It's only $5 and it'll tell you so much information. You're just going to be in awe of it all. And there's another one, Meet Your Straw Man. Those are both incredible. Those would be amazing to give to somebody for Christmas too. Give it to yourself for Christmas and give it to everybody you know for Christmas to help them to see what's been going on. So, and the truth of all of it, that we've been scammed and duped all this time to support nefarians in their sex trafficking and pedophilia bullshit behind the scenes. All right. Applause. You. Funny. I feel like some of you also on some platforms with what you've been saying, if you've been brave enough to say some things you normally wouldn't, I also feel God is applauding you. It's the time to tell truth. Okay, so there is, I feel like there is an up of the energy of being able to discern right now too. If somebody's ever trying to trick you, dupe you, if there's the black magic really isn't having much impact anymore at all. It's being neutralized. It's being zapped. God's had enough of that nonsense. So he's putting the kibosh on that. They're getting away with a little tiny bit here and there, but they really can't do anything anymore. And they're paying a hell of a lot of money to have this kind of stuff done. So just be discerning, but it's going to be easier to do that. It's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be way more obvious when somebody's trying to dupe or trick you now. Yeah. Wow. So we've got, wow. Okay, so I had a card, some kind of card about someone's lying to you, don't get duped kind of thing. And then another one, someone's lying to you, but I've got your back and will reveal the truth. So I think all the liars are coming to the forefront. Like we're all, oh my gosh, I'm making sure all of this works out in your favor. Just let me take care of it and surrender. Holy cow. And then there's also those who've been after you, been caught. They're regretting getting involved. So if you've been gang stalked or whatever, don't even worry about it. God's got you. And he's just asking everyone to just relax and surrender. Like, I got this. Nobody worry about a thing. Nobody who trusts me worry about a thing. Okay. Relax and go on a vacation and just connect with me. I'll replenish you. And that could be a vacation in your own mind, you know? My timing is perfect. I know what I'm doing. I want you to build your dream life right now, right away. I want you to build your dream life right away and ignore any potential threat around you. I got you. Oh my gosh. Okay. ETs want you to know they are watching over you closely and won't let anything happen. They want to reveal themselves to you. Awesome. So I know the Arcturians, if you ask them to, they can reinforce a kind of a vortex around you that's total protection. They could like take you up in their ships if it really comes down to it. Oh, Yeshua wants you to know he's actively involved in helping you with any concerns and leveling up. I just felt one of you, or at least somebody out there, just said something like, I've been talking to Yeshua lately. So, whatever you might be going through, it's a blessing in disguise and it will be revealed. It's working in your favor. So that's what God's been doing lately is everything just all things working together for good. So no matter whatever they're getting away with, like I said in that last video, like everything they do to me, there's a million, ka-ching, ka-ching, thank you. It's never going to come down on land just on me. That's never going to happen. You know, it's going to go back on them, period. And without me even doing anything, because God has a mission for me. He's got a purpose. Okay. So if you are being picked on like that, let it work in your favor. Let them keep doing stuff to you. Let them keep doing. The more they do to you, the more you're going to get on the other side of this. We're going to be rewarded for our long suffering. Okay, wherever you settle down and call home, I will keep you safe. So just follow your heart and don't worry, I got you. That's like what, 3 or 4 cards now that say I got you. And they don't all say that. Activate my armor. That armor is being present because you fill your up with stuff up that chi and it's going to put a force field around your body. You're doing everything right. I'll keep you out of any trouble and away from any threats. Keep up the good work. Okay. Okay. And he's also saying there's something here about the QFS, like we'll keep your money or your crypto or whatever safe. So if you've been wondering if you should put something on an external wallet or if you should move something somewhere, I feel like it's all been thought of. They've thought of saving everybody's stuff. Okay. Stay connected to me as much as possible. They want to steal your peace, but be confident in me. I always win. If you're going through an obstacle or if one is coming up, it's just surfacing to test your commitment and expose your unhealed traits to draw closer to him. Some catastrophes may still happen, but you and your loved ones will be guided to stay safe. You are important to the Earth's future. You have a bright future and will love where all of this is going. Please trust still in control. All right. Even now he says still, just in case there's oh my gosh, all this stuff is going on, all these concerns and illusions. So, he's like, I'm still in control. You're doing just as you need to at this time. Just keep being you. Anything else? All right. We'll look at some decision cards. Sensei, Shushu popomono tronza sei na trai kicince e tonda trai. Okay, what are some things these guys need to keep in mind? Ask your intuition if you'll regret it. Before making any major decision, ask, will I regret this, God? And you'll get a yes or a no, and just go by that. Take more quality time for yourself. Okay, not quantity, quality time. So you may get little time to yourself, but spend it in a way that really charges you in a positive way. A positive change is coming. Make time for something or someone you love. Partake in some kind of social activity. You might be moving or traveling, maybe to partake in a social activity. Go have fun. So, yay. There, somebody snuggling my feet and rolling around on them. So, we may be going through, you know, people over here might be going through, and over here we're like, oh, stretched out, relaxing, and just being like, yeah. So I don't, at least inside, I mean, we still may see a shitstorm going all around us, but, find that peace within you and just hold to it with everything. Even as you're walking around or going places, don't let that knock you out of the present moment. Just stay filled with the Holy Spirit, stay filled and reside in the kingdom of God within you in the present moment. All right. Anything else? I don't think I have any other cards. Do I? Oh, okay. I thought of doing this too. All right. So we're going to take a look at I've got some people cards. So if you meet somebody, then these cards are to help you to discern about them. If you meet somebody or if you're questioning someone or anything like that. All right. So think of a person that you want to know more about. Like, can you trust them, or are they coming from a good place, or why are they doing that? Like, tell me about this person. So I want you guys to all put your attention on somebody, and we're going to pull the collective energy of who that person is. So be thinking about this person right now that you want to know more information about. Now this is collective. That means all of you who are thinking of the one person, this is what's the common thing God wants you to know about that person. They're wise and mature. Okay. You might want to reconcile with that person. They could potentially be an employee, or maybe you're their employee. You guys might work together or something. They're aligned with their heart. They might feel guilty about some cooties that happen. They might feel guilty about some negative energy, but understand about whatever that was. So whatever it was that made you even suspicious or made you wonder, yeah, have their back. Clear their energy and have their back, because they're a blessing and it will be successful. Full time even. Keep them by your side. Okay? So, maybe something happened where they caused some kind of negativity for you or something and they feel bad about that. So it's worth reconciling, getting honest, telling your truth. Both of you kind of getting everything out. Okay, so let's think of the second person. Let's do another person, and then I'll do a blessing for all this. All right. It's a fateful mission. It's supposed to happen. Stay present with this person. That means don't get in your head about them. Somebody full time again, or that could just mean a lot of time. Understand them. Understand whatever is low vibrational for them. Try to understand that, because they're of like mind and like heart. They're a phenomenal fit for you. Understand, aligned with their heart, employee. Yeah, a lot of the same cards. I mean, there's quite a few in the deck. Okay, what else about this person? What else do they need to know about the person number 2? I have a lot of nefarious things in here. You won't regret it. It'll It'll be successful. My gosh. Okay. Whoever you guys are doubting, quit doubting it. Um, give them a chance, give them a shot. Try, communicating and not jumping to any conclusions. Try mirroring the person. Try truly listening. I did a video on listening effectively, so you might want to watch that. Okay, guys. And just remember, give, and it will be given unto you. And surrender. Remember me being in my car driving, and God was operating my body. He was moving my arms, my legs. He was blinking. He was moving my lips. Whatever was going on, I wasn't even there. So that's going to be you. You're just going to and I was so chill. I was like, this is so nice. I remember worrying about life. I don't need to worry anymore. I just need to just kick it. So God wants you guys to just kick it. Just kick it, relax, and let him take care of everything. He can do a much better job than you can. And he knows what's on everybody's mind, what's on everybody's hearts, what they're all going to do, what they're all going to try. He knows it all. So just let him do his orchestrating of life and bring you the perfect surprises that are about to roll out for you, the incredible blessings that are up ahead. Because so there are going to be some very, very happy tears very, very soon. So yeah. Then I feel again that energy of like even the wealth transfer happening during the time of total chaos and blah. So just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. The love lane. Okay. Shishishi na trasa saki popo no toron sa se ke liki no popo shusho na teresa. Ke pipim pipim Okay, have a beautiful day, guys. Hope this helped you in some way, and I will talk to you later.